Good morning. I'm grateful we're coming together today to build a kitchen, the heart of our First Baptist Church family. Never is this more true than on Valentines Suppers. If you've joined the church in the last 5 years, you may never have experienced this wonderful, heartwarming event. The most recent Valentine's Supper was February 2020, just 2 weeks before the lockdowns for COVID came. Last week would have been the 60th anniversary of the Valentine's Supper, which started in 1965. In the next few minutes, let me share with you how, for me, the Valentine's Supper was the perfect combination of good fellowship, good food, good music, and lots of love. I prepared an imaginary slideshow to share some of those special moments with you. And if you're watching from home, don't be alarmed if you can't see the slides. They're all in my mind, and I'll try to paint a good word picture for you. So let's get started on a trip down memory lane. Let me check that my Bluetooth is connected to the projector, and we'll go to the first slide, please. This is a photo of the Men's Brotherhood at one of their first meetings in 1964. There were 75 men showed up. You may not recognize some of them. Their youthful looks, their shaggy long hair. But if you look carefully at the closest table, there's Earl Dexter and John Kahn. And I think you can even make out a very young-looking Roger Prentice, just recently graduated from university. The evening would start with a meal prepared and served by the Women's Auxiliary, after which there would be a guest speaker, and the men would retire to the parlor while the women cleaned up the kitchen. As the February meeting approached, the men decided to reverse the roles, and they would prepare and serve the Valentine's dinner as an appreciation to the ladies for all the work they had done. This slideshow shows Bud Whalen and David Burke sorting out a mountain of turkeys, hams, scalloped potatoes, and have you ever seen a pyramid of cabbage heads waiting to be turned into coleslaw? And for the next 55 years, the menu remained virtually unchanged. Next slide. During the meal, there would always be some musical entertainment. This slide is from one of the very first Valentine's Suppers, and there's David Freeman in front introducing the musical entertainment for the evening, provided by the West End Baptist Church Quartet. Listen to their Beatles harmonies. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is... All right, cut. Enough of that. Where are we? Lost my slideshow there. All right, for the old timers, and this slide was donated by Linda McIntosh, who can forget Bruce Morton? And here he is, holding a glass of apple juice, giving a toast to the ladies, and serenading Evelyn Denton with his Elvis Presley impersonation. And then there's the men without jackets. Remember the men without jackets, their red bow ties, their white shirts, leading the love song serenade. And there's Naomi Snee and her jazz quintet. And standing in front, you can see Ian McKee with his ukulele strumming along. At the end of the sing-along, every woman in the choir, in the evening event, would get a red rose to take home. Not to be forgotten is the cleanup. Here, holding up a stack of dirty dishes and loading the giant dishwasher, is Leonard McLean and Brian Darrell, with the rest of the cleanup crew in the background, scrubbing and mopping. Everybody enjoyed the fellowship in the beautifully decorated assembly room, none more so than the widows of the church, who could join and celebrate the day in the company of friends. I think I'm running out of time. I see Peggy Dunbar there looking at her watch, so I'll skip the next 200 slides. There's one last slide I want to show you. This is the artist's rendition of the final version of the Valentines Supper. You can see he's put hearts on all the appliances and all the walls, each one representing a different kind of love. There's spousal love, there's parental love, there's sibling love, love of family, love of neighbors, and on the door to the kitchen, a giant red heart, love of fellowship and good food. So with your support in building our new kitchen, let's remember the love Jesus had of dinner parties and target 2026 as the rebirth of a favorite old tradition of sharing the love at the Valentines Supper. And after the service, you can join me at the back of the sanctuary, and there'll be a real live slideshow. Thank you.